Welcome to the Freedom Lifestyle Academy Podcast Show, hosted by Paul Wakefield. The Freedom Lifestyle Academy Podcast will reveal priceless information you need to know to not only achieve business success on the internet, but you'll also discover how to change the dynamics of your life forever. And now, here's your host, Paul Wakefield.
Okay, fantastic. We're on a new episode. So welcome to a brand new episode of the Freedom Lifestyle podcast. As always, I'm your host, Paul Wakefield. And today I've got another special guest. Really excited to have Ryan on here, Ryan HamadaI. I do hope I've said that right, although I have just checked with him. I hope I've said that right. I'm really excited about this episode. As always, like I say, I introduce new people to you listeners, who have come from all backgrounds, who are on a journey, have a fantastic story, and have got huge value to share. And as I always say, I have no idea what the answers to the killer questions are going to be today. So just like you guys, my listeners, I'm really excited to hear the response we get from Ryan. So Ryan, thank you so much, mate, for joining us today.
You're welcome, Paul. I'm very excited to share my story and add value to your community.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. So Ryan, let's just get started then by asking you to introduce yourself, who you are, a bit of a backstory, kind of where you've been, where you're going, what you're doing, where you're from, all the usual sort of stuff, mate. So I'll leave it up to you. Off you go, mate.
Yeah, so my name is Ryan HamadaI, and I'm French. I was born in a small town in the south of France, and my father is a migrant from North Africa. Okay. So my father never made more than minimum wage. As a matter of fact, he came to France to play soccer. Was his dream.
Amazing.
And, he played for a bit, and then you know how it goes, like a professional soccer career. Nothing is guaranteed. So eventually. He had to get a job and married my mother, and we were born, me and my three siblings.
Ah, lovely.
He never made more than minimum wage, but he always encouraged us to pursue our dreams, to chase our dreams. So I went to school. I had a normal childhood, and at the age of 18, I had a personal event that changed my life. I was watching The Simpsons on TV, and the screen was distorted. So I went to my mother and I said, "Mom, when I look at the screen, of the TV screen, the screen is distorted." So she took me to the eye doctor, and he came back with the result of the exam, and he said, your son has an internal hemorrhage. He's losing the sight on his left eye. And if we don't perform surgery for him as soon as possible, he might lose the sight. So overnight, Paul had to leave school and went through surgery. And after the surgery, I spent 4 months at home recovering. And that event really changed my life, because at the end of those 4 months, staying in my room, recovering from that surgery at such a young age, I came to one conclusion. I came to one realization that changed my life. And that realization was, we only live once. We only live once, because you never know what can happen. So I promised myself that after that, when I recover from the surgery, I will live life to the fullest. I will do exactly what I want to do. So I recovered, went back to school, graduated eventually. And after I graduated, I found a job in a bank, which I hated, so I quit after 6 months and decided to move to the UK. And I moved to London. And there I lived for 4 years in London, and I had many jobs there until 2009 during the financial crisis when I quit my last job and with the goal of starting my own business. And my mindset at the time was, if I make it during the financial crisis, there's nothing that can stop me later on. So I quit my job and I got started as an entrepreneur. But I had one little problem. I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't have any plan. I was a little bit naive at the time. I thought I could just quit my job and a business idea came out of nowhere, and it wasn't the case. So after 6 months, I kind of lost all my savings. And sure enough, one day I go to my email inbox and I receive an email from a former coworker, someone I used to work with, and he said, "Ryan, I'm going to online marketing business event. Would you like to come with me?" And I say, I'm unemployed, so yes, I have time, so let's do it. And Paul, I went to that event from a man called Mark Anastasi. I don't know if you know him. And that event changed my life. Here I am sitting at the event, and one speaker made a presentation on affiliate marketing, and maybe we can talk more about what is affiliate marketing. And he showed us how to start a business online and how to start an affiliate marketing business. And I said, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to start my own online business. And I went home, I implemented everything I learned, and after 7 days, I made my first sale on the internet. And didn't change my life overnight, but it gave me the confidence to keep going. And after a year, I was making a living from my online business. After 2 years, I was able to travel the world. And on my journey, I met my wife. She's Canadian. And after we kept traveling. After the third year, we had to stop because she was pregnant. So
amazing.
And we had to decide where we're going to live. So we said, what, let's go, let's live in France because she speaks French and she loves France. So we decided to settle up here in France, in the south, that we absolutely love. We love the south of France. So nice. So now here I am with my family living in the south of France. And I love to share my experience in online marketing and share my story, and also train and coach people who, just like me, want to create an online business so that they have more freedom and more choice.
I love that. 2 seconds, 1 moment. I just want to show you something. What was the event? What was Mark's event that you went to?
I don't remember the name of the event, but
what year was it?
It was in 2009. It was 2009.
Okay. It wasn't the Ultimate Facebook Seminar, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was more generalist. It was like we had different people talking about different kind of online business. So
I tell you what, because do you know Mark's book, the Laptop Millionaire?
Yes.
I'm featured in it.
Cool.
And the reason why I say that is because I was one of the speakers at the Ultimate Facebook Seminar, which I think, it was 2010. And I was talking, I was up on stage on how I built my online business. So it's interesting that you've mentioned Mark there. I used to know Mark relatively well. Are you in contact with Mark at all these days, or are you still?
We haven't been in contact for the past few years. Like we were kind of.
Okay. So yeah, 2 things that are really interesting there. One, like I say, that you went to an event. I don't need to go into my story. This isn't about me, and it's well documented. People know that. But yeah, when I started, so let's say Mark invited me. He'd done an event, Ultimate Facebook Seminar. So it's about 2010, how I was making money on the internet. And again, similar to you, it was that journey of going to an event, networking, listening to others. Like I said to you before I started this show, I've been a consultant all my life. I'm a coach, trainer, speaker. So that's how I've built my business up. That are the four core things that I do. And like I say, I now help people do the same. The only reason why I'm saying that is because that's a huge golden nugget that you've just laid out to people straight away, is that you took action and you went to an event.
Yes.
Now there's so many events all over the place, and there really is no excuse, not to go to events, to network with like-minded people, to learn from people that have been there, done it, got the t-shirt and doing what you want to do. So that's a huge nugget that you've just said there. So for the listeners, that's what really got me started, in the world of this, and by getting a mentor. And, if you're interested in affiliate marketing, I do little bits, not loads, but I do little bits. So that's amazing. I'm really pleased that was a fantastic route for you. I really am. It's great. The second thing that I love is that on my vision board, a place where I've always wanted to live, where my missus and I want to go, and probably end up living, is the south of France. So it's actually quite bizarre that you're in there. So I have to pick your brains about that one day. But that's fantastic. It's a great story. Congratulations on finding your soulmate, the love of your life, and starting a family for what you've gone through. So from a personal point of view then, Ryan, your eyesight now, how is that? Is it better, or where are you at sort of health-wise with that?
I lost a lot of my eyesight sight on my left eye.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm fortunate that I can use my right eye. I avoid driving.
Okay.
Yeah, avoid driving. And what I've been told by doctors is right now, at the moment, that we don't have the technology or the means of raising the sight of my left eye yet. So maybe in the near future. But I'm grateful that I was able to, get surgery young, because could have been worse. But yes, to answer your question, I didn't fully recover. I barely don't see from my left eye.
Okay. The reason why I asked that, obviously not to get too personal, but is, again, it's another golden nugget if people listen to this. We hear this phrase branded all the time, that you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't do both.
Yeah.
You had the perfect opportunity to turn around and go, that's it, I'm done. I'm gonna live with what's happened to me. I'm gonna accept what's happened to me, and I'm just gonna go on and carry on living what society says I should go on and live. That would have been very easy for you to do. But you obviously, you're one of those people, you've got a burning desire inside you that realized that, you wasn't satisfied with what life was throwing at you, and you wanted to do something different. And again, that's a huge golden nugget. I think that's amazing, mate. Well done.
I don't believe, I sincerely believe I would have never done all the things I've done, like just, for example, moving to the UK, for example. Like leaving my banking job. Like I had a relatively safe banking job after graduating, and I left that job almost overnight to go to the UK, and I tried different kind of jobs there. And then 2009 financial crisis, I said, okay, I'm done with working in jobs. I'm going to start an online business. I don't think I would have done all those things if I didn't have that thing for my eyes at a young age, because I think it shaped, like, what's worse than that? You're 18, you're young, and they tell you losing your sight. Like, in comparison to that, there's nothing that can be worse than that.
Yeah.
So I think it gave me perspective, and like I told you, that reminded me that we only live once.
Yeah.
The time is now.
Exactly, and I talk about, and I've got a script next to me, and it talks about how living one precious human life, and I'm a big believer in that. And similar with me, I had an incident myself when I was 21. I had a really bad, severe panic attack, when I was 21. I collapsed when I woke up. The paramedics were next to me and brought me around, etc. And when I sort of spoke about what happened, they said, we've had a huge panic attack, but a lack of oxygen to your brain actually killed you for about 30 seconds. And luckily they brought me round. Now, there's two things that obviously could have, well, three things really that could have happened. Obviously, I could have died. Luckily, I didn't. I could have come back alive and been brain damaged due to the lack of oxygen to the brain if it was slightly longer. Or I could have come back how I am. And I have. I've come back, touch wood. I was very lucky. There was obviously someone looking above me, and I'm so grateful for that. But like I say, it did. That then was the start of me, realising. So we live one precious human life. I'd lost a lot of friends that year through car accidents, cancer, bike accidents. On my 21st birthday was spent at a friend's funeral, and then within 5 months I lost 6 friends. So I was the lucky one. And when that happened and that I was still here and I looked at my friends that were taken, it certainly makes you realise. It certainly does. And I think when something happens like that, it's the wake-up call that we need. So again, bravo to you, mate, and fantastic that you've gone on and used it to inspire others. I think that's amazing. So yeah, well done, and thank you for sharing that. So it kind of leads into the first question then, really, Ryan. And as I say to all my listeners all the time, I never know the answers to these. Even your story there, I didn't know that. So it's nice to hear what's happened, if that's the right way of saying it. I don't know if that is or not, but you know what I mean.
I got you.
So the first question that I'd like to ask you, again, it's a relatively simple question, but to a certain extent it isn't. So the first question I'd like to ask you, Ryan, please, is what does freedom look like to you?
Freedom for me means control.
Okay.
My time, control over my income, control over my emotions, control over who I want to spend time with, control over where I live. So really, for me, freedom is control, exerting a form of control on those things that matter the most to me.
I love that. I don't think anyone's actually said control yet, so that's interesting. So yeah, okay. So in regards to having 100% control over your life, over your destiny, over your life, over everything, really, you can do what you want when you want to do it. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I have that. I have the power to exert an influence on those things that matter to me. Doesn't mean I'm gonna have everything at the same time exactly how I want them to be, but I can exert some form of control and shape them.
Sure. Love it. Brilliant. Yeah, what a great answer. And yeah, I agree. And I think, like I say, the way society dictates to us is, far from that, completely opposite. It's very much about, as we know, go to school, go to college, go to uni, get a job until you're 70 odd or whatever it is now. So someone pretty much is in control of your life up until sort of 70-ish. And then they sort of turn around and say, right, you've got another 10, 15, maybe 20 years if you're lucky to go and enjoy yourself. I couldn't think of anything worse. So
is to remember, with control comes responsibility, and that's something you have to accept. Like, if you can't accept the responsibility, you can't get the control. It just comes together. So I think that's something to always remember. Yes, you can control your income, but you become responsible of your income, and there's nobody is gonna feed you anymore. So you're the one responsible. That's the price you pay if you want to have control on your income. So
exactly. So it is.
Shit as it sounds, taking responsibility is key if you want to be free.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
It really is, and that's a great point to make. So I know when I started the business, or first went self-employed in 2006. It took probably about 6 months or so for me to really sink in that shit, I haven't got a regular income. It's very easy just to wake up, sit on the sofa, put your laptop on your lap and do a little bit, but while focusing on the TV and not really doing anything. So although I had the freedom to do what I want when I wanted to, it was that responsibility that took a while to come in. I still had bills to pay, food to get, and etc. So yeah, it is. That's a great one. That I think that's really key, is responsibility. You've got to be responsible for yourself, to wake up in the morning, to take action, to do the work, to be what's the word I'm looking for? But to be, I suppose, in charge of yourself. It's not the word I'm looking for. I can't remember the word I'm looking for. But it really is. It's a huge responsibility. You've got to take responsibility of yourself.
And I've always been very inspired by my father, who left North Africa, like a country called Algeria, near Morocco, to pursue his dream. And when he came to France, it was really, really hard for him. He was didn't make any money, didn't know anyone, but he wanted to be in control of his future, and he had a dream, but he was willing to take responsibility and pay a price for that. So, like give and take. Like you have, if you want something and it's important enough to you, you will do the sacrifice and take the responsibility that you need to take to make it happen.
Definitely. And again, another word there, sacrifice. I think there's a lot of people that aren't prepared to make sacrifices. For me, it was the case of not going on holiday for about 3 years, I think, of really busting the gut, trying to make things work. And even when I look at it now, I tried so many things. I've made so many mistakes, although I've kept on the same route. But I've tried things. And again, that was a good thing. It was probably a bad thing, because there was sometimes probably a lack of responsibility for me, because I was like, well, I want to try this. I'm going to go and do it, rather than thinking, well, hang on, it's not just about me. I've got my family, I've got the responsibilities. And that is key. It really is key. Taking responsibility for yourself, and making sure that you commit 100% to be consistent on what you're going to do to live the life that you deserve to live. And, if that's a life of freedom, then amazing. So, yeah, fantastic. I like that. Great share. So I'm not saying that you are or you're not successful. I love your story, and success is defined in various different ways of so many different people. We look at it as, some people look at success as financial success or health success, whatever it might be. But I'd be interested to know, Ryan, what would it look like if you were entirely successful?
Well, for me, now that I am a father,
I
would say more than financial success or business success, success would mean making sure that my son is happy and is someone. It becomes a person he wants to become. And if like when he's 18, 20, 25, 30 years old, he said, Dad, you really inspired me, and you show me the way so that I can become who I want to become and be good with myself, aligned with who I want to be, that would be success for me.
I love that. That's amazing. So how old is your son, did you say, Ryan?
He's free. He's
free.
So he has, it's a learning process. I'm learning all that stuff, and I know there's more challenges to come, but yes, you're always growing different areas of your life. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing. I love that. And again, another fantastic answer. So following up from that then, if you popped in a time machine, let's just say you go forward 10 years, what would you see if you popped into the time machine and went forward 10 years? What would you see? What was there?
Okay, so in 10 years, I have another child.
Okay.
Or maybe one other son.
Yeah.
I'm in the best health I've ever been. Maybe I'll recover it from my eyesight, because technology has advanced by then.
Yeah.
And, maybe, grow, increase the number of people I helped online and like the impact. I would say the impact that I might have. I just grow that impact globally, doing more of what I'm doing right now with you, sharing my message and just inspiring people. I think if I can do that in 10 years and do it at a large scale, I'd be happy.
Love it, fantastic.
While having balance in my life, I think that's really important. While having an amazing family life, having a great health, being emotionally fit, like just have that balance, and I think that's key for me.
Yeah,
You need to have balance if you truly want to be happy.
completely agree. I mean, it's for me the three key things that I always work with on my clients is the health, wealth, and mind.
Yeah.
Although they're very driven to be, I want the business, it's like, well, that's great. You can become wealthy, but if your mindset isn't right and you don't understand what to do with that money, then it's fail. You might also have a great mindset to earn money and become very wealthy, but if you don't look after your health, you might drop down dead tomorrow. And the whole purpose of what you've done and built is gone.
Yes.
And I think it's so key, and I really wish that more people would focus on those three things rather than just focusing on the transaction. Because I think, like I say, the transaction is obviously that's the end goal, that's what we're looking for, but there's a journey to get there. And like I say, I always say mind before money, and health before wealth. And we need to focus on those, and make the transaction the end goal. So it's great to hear that. So in regards to that, and if you transferred, if you went on to the future 10 years and you had all of that, what you said, sounds great, sounds amazing. But why do you want that?
I want that because it's challenging. It's not easy, and I think that's what drives me is the pride to build my life as I envisioned it.
Okay.
Because it's not easy. It's hard to have a great health, a great family, a successful business. All those things are hard. It's not easy. Like, let's be real here. It's hard. You have to be consistent. You're going to fail. You have to learn. You have to improve. So if I do those things, I can say, wow, I did that. And coming from where I'm coming from, the son of a North African migrant, growing up in a low income family, low income housing, that makes me proud.
Love that. Amazing. Good for you. I love that. So do you think affiliate marketing will always be your thing, or can you sort of see yourself going away from that, or is that where your passion lies?
Affiliate marketing is, in a sense, is business, because for those people who are listening and don't know what affiliate marketing is, affiliate marketing is the process of selling someone else's product or service and getting a commission for it. Okay, so it's very straightforward. So you're not creating a product, you're not delivering the service, you're just promoting it and getting a cut of the sale without it costing more to the customer. So what is business? Business is simply selling a product or service. That's it. Like, really, there's different kind of product, different kind of services, but at the core, that's it. Selling a product or service, and that's what I'm doing. I'm an affiliate. I'm selling a product or service. So affiliate marketing is business. So in that sense, I will always do affiliate marketing.
Yeah, love it.
Now, what might change is maybe one day I will sell my own product, or different product.
Sure.
But at the core, business is selling a product or service. So yes, I will always be involved in some way to affiliate marketing. And I also believe the reason why I love to teach affiliate marketing is because it's the easiest and more straightforward way to start an online business. Because think about it, you don't have to create a product, you don't have to have a website, you don't have to deal with customer support. you don't need like great business skill. You just need to be able to pick a product, learn some promotional strategies, focus on them, and you can start creating an income, and that can give you the confidence to then go to bigger things if you want to. So
yeah, excellent. I love that, and yeah, I completely agree. I think it's fantastic thing to get into. So, is there a particular niche that you're into with affiliate?
yeah, kind of niche. I'm in the financial niche, health, self-help. I've promoted, I think, hundreds of product. I was promoting different product, different niches, forex. It's exciting because you're always learning about new offers. Or new products. People hit me up all the time with new offers, and it's very interesting. But
I love that. It is. That's the thing. I say it's kind of the world your oyster with that. Like I say, you can promote just as long as there's an affiliate offer. You can promote it. It's there. Like I say, you haven't got to worry about anything apart from getting an affiliate link and putting that affiliate link in front of a hungry group of people who want it.
Yeah, and also what's great about that business is you can build it around your passion.
Yeah.
If you have passion around fitness, grab a bunch of fitness offer that product that you are already using, just start promoting them. Like it's just amazing. Like you can build a business around your passion, and that's a beautiful thing, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. I love it. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing. So in 6 months' time then, Ryan, if things were going exactly the way you want, what would you see?
What I would see is I will probably increase my own community online.
Okay.
Less behind the scene. I've been for almost 10 years now an affiliate, so I've been pretty much behind the scene. And it's only been recently that I've been doing more of those interviews and sharing content online. So I would say share more content, more value to the marketplace, and having people respond positively to it, hopefully.
Love it. Excellent. I love that. So would you look to do maybe your end goal, maybe to do your own events and things like that as well then and help people get into affiliate marketing? Or
yeah, maybe my own event, maybe a course. I'm seriously thinking about doing a course because I believe the way people teach affiliate marketing is it could be improved, I would say.
Yeah.
It could be improved. Done a lot over the past 10 years, so I believe I like to keep things simple. So I believe I can offer an approach that's much more simpler, much more straightforward, and being real.
Yeah.
I think that's really important to me. I want to be real with people. I want to tell the truth. What does it take for you to be successful online?
Yeah.
And give them things that they can use and get results with. I believe that's key.
Definitely. You've touched on several things there that I always talk about, and one is about keeping it simple.
Yes.
I think there's so much information out there now. It's information overload. It's insane.
Absolutely.
And it's very easy to get bombarded with it all. I'd say with my group, my Facebook group, I don't know what I've got in there, 370 people, something like that. So it's not huge, but it's a great little community, pretty interactive. But I see a lot of the time is the overthinking, the overcomplicating of stuff. And it really is, and that's the big thing with me. And, I know I'm 42 now, and since I was 12, I've lived with anxiety. So for me, I purposely keep it simple, because if I overcomplicate things, it really kicks off my anxiety, and obviously I'd say the last thing I want is another panic attack. So yeah, I'm very much about keeping it simple, and I think that's so key. And I think I've got some friends who are very successful in affiliate marketing, but I think they do even their process, although it's simple-ish. I do think it is made to be very complicated, and I still think people are still trying to teach kind of old hat stuff that doesn't necessarily work with the marketplace. So so I think there's definitely a need for that, mate. So it'd be interesting to see if you do that. It'd be great.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, like business is business. It doesn't matter whether it's online or offline. You're selling a product or a service using sales and marketing. And I think we kind of lost touch with that. Now it's all about, Facebook ads is hot, YouTube ads, that hack and that strategy. And people forget what business is. Simply selling a product or service. Pick a product and choose a way to promote that product and be consistent with it. And you're gonna get results, and that's it. And I think people always jump into the next strategy, and they buy maybe too many products. Also, they try to learn from too many people at the same times, and it gets confusing. It gets confusing, and it's slow. It's slow. They have a slow. They don't get results that they could get.
They don't, and I think the biggest problem is because a lot of people. We see it all the time. So you've been involved with the online world similar sort of time as me, and we see all the time people jumping from one thing to another, the next big shiny object, the next best opportunity, and I think because people know that you can get results online, and then people become desperate to get the results, but they try something for 6 weeks, maybe 3 months, they don't see the results. So then they go on to something else, now like, affiliate marketing wasn't for me. I'm going to get into network marketing. So then they do, 6 months or 3 months of network marketing. Oh, I didn't see the results. That's not for me. I'm going to become a coach and all that. Yes. Rather than saying, right, here's my passion. My personal passion is health, wealth, mindset, and I know my target audience is business owners, consultants, coaches, trainers, and speakers, because that's what I do. I've got 20 plus years experience in those 4 fields. I know anxiety and the pressure and the stress involved in those industries. So I help those people. I've got a proven strategy on how I've built my business, and I help them do exactly the same. So I found my passion, my purpose. And I think until people know that, they're always going to jump around. And one thing that I say to people, when people, I want to start a business, but I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, I'll give you 9 simple businesses to do straight away. Think of 3 hobbies, 3 life experiences, and 3 interests. It's like there's 9 businesses. Now narrow them down to 3, the 3 that you would really love, and then find one out of there that is going to get you out of bed every single morning that you're going to be passionate about. There's your business. Go and make money from it. But unfortunately, people, they seem to be a lack of patience these days.
Absolutely.
Because it's very much, results-driven world now. And if they don't get the results quickly, they're on to the next big thing, which is very sad.
Absolutely, yeah. They might not get results. So as soon as they see a new product coming up, they buy it because they believe, that's a product that's get them result now, and they don't get a result again, and then they jump to the next product, the next product, the next, and never end. And
exactly, and all they do is they waste all their money.
It's a process. It's a process to focus, and I think with the internet now it's very hard to focus. Like
I agree. Especially like today, prime example is Black Friday. So there's, every man and their dog out there is going to be putting out special offers. And people are going to go and buy all these offers, probably not use any of them or hardly any of them, spend a load of money, and then sit there and think, shit, I've just wasted more money, which is going to create more stress, more anxiety.
Or maybe pick one offer, and focus, but only with the mindset that you will focus on that for 6 months, 6 to 8 months. If you want to do, let's say, you want to make money promoting affiliate offers with YouTube ads, let's, for example.
Yeah.
Focus on that for 6 months, like master YouTube advertising. I think the key word is mastery. You have to become whatever you trying to achieve, become a master.
Yeah, exactly.
Affiliate marketing, I set up my mind I would become a master at affiliate marketing, and I didn't look into any other stuff. I didn't look into AdWords. I didn't look into MLM. I focused on affiliate marketing. I said, okay, it's going to be my thing. Affiliate marketing. It's been now 10 years. 10 years I'm making a living from affiliate marketing.
Love that.
You have to master whatever you're going after. Master. You want to become a coach? Master the business of coaching.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. And that's the thing, like I said, for me, since 2008, what's that, 11 years or whatever, being a coach, being a lifestyle coach. Yes, I've done other things in the past, and, I've made the mistakes. I got a little bit frustrated with the whole coaching industry. So although I've still done it, my passion went about 5 years ago, and I went off for a little bit to do other stuff, but always kind of had it. And I'd say 3 years ago, I got the mojo back, and I was excited again, and kind of looked at everything that I'd achieved, what my clients had achieved, what I was doing, how I was transforming other lives. And I just thought, what am I doing? Stick with what you're doing. Stick with what you know. You're a bloody good coach. You know how to get results for people. And it is about consistency. It really is. And, I'd say I lacked that for a little while. I took my eye off the ball, and it was a mistake that I made, but it was something that I learned from. It was a lesson learned. So, which seamlessly takes us into the next question, mate. That works really, really well. So I've used a particular word in here that could have been a different word. But I'd love to know, Ryan, over the years, through in life and business, what would you say are the biggest mistakes you've made, and what did you learn from them, mate?
The biggest mistakes I've learned is I didn't pay attention on emotional fitness and how to manage my emotion more effectively. Because I find many times in my life I've been slowed down by my own emotion, anxiety, fear, like irrational fear sometimes, and I never really knew that you could become emotionally fit.
Yeah.
That's something that you can work on and improve, and you don't have to react the way you react. You can learn to, manage your state, manage your emotion. And I regret I didn't make a priority of doing that earlier in my life when I learned emotional fitness techniques and, like, for example, things like meditating first thing in the morning. Like nowadays, I never start my day without first meditating, because I know it calms me down, it clears my mind, it makes me more happy. Before I would wake up and go straight to the computer and work. And didn't work for it worked for some people. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that.
Sure.
But for me, it didn't work. Like I need to at least meditate, and I need every day to exercise, stabilize my mood, keep me calm, keep me focused. And I at the time I didn't realize that you have to build those rituals to make sure that you manage your state on a day-to-day basis. Because when you're an entrepreneur, emotions, it's not like having a job where you have that stability, that emotional, like that financial stability, which means you have emotional stability. When you're an entrepreneur, you're in charge, you're responsible. So your emotion might go up and down, may feel anxious, fearful sometimes. So you need to take control of your emotions. And early in my entrepreneurial journey, I didn't know that. So I'd be stressed, I'd be anxious for no reason sometimes. But I didn't have those rituals at the time.
And I think that is key, because one of the things, I hate. I say I hate. It's funny. It's a weird thing to say. I've never been a big fan of routine. When I was at school, when I was employed, and everything else, routine used to drive me absolutely mental. Yeah, and I did, but I think, and you're spot on with what you say, because I now do have a daily routine. But I think the difference being is it wasn't the routine that I hated. It was the fact that someone was telling me what I had to do, rather than me actually wanting to do what I wanted to do. Like you, when I wake up in the mornings, there's certain things that I say, certain things that I do. I go out for a walk for an hour every day. I do X, Y, and Z. I have a routine. My working day doesn't start until 10. Actually, with a client, I'm on the computer from sort of 9:30, but my working day is generally 10 till 4. And then, before that, I have my things, my routines. After that, I do. And even during the day, I have my routines. At my events, we call it no 0 days, so at least do something every day. I always talk about having at least 2 hours of full productivity on a daily basis, rather than having 8 hours of just randomness. Personally speaking, I think 4 hours of a full productive day is plenty. Any more than that, I think you just lose it. So by doing that and creating your routine of health, say through mindset, physical activity, whatever it is so important. And again, as we said a minute ago, I think too many people focus on the transaction, and they put that first, rather than putting ourselves first. Because if we're not healthy in regards to our physical health and our mental health, what's the point? Without that, it's going to be a real struggle. So that's key. So that's I love that. I love that you shared that. That is so important.
Be very open about it. Like I had time where my emotion took the best of me. Like the anxiety, the fears, and you don't perform as well as when you are clear-minded and just centered. And that's something now that is a non-negotiable for me. I'm a routine, and I'm just much more happier.
Yeah, love it. And I'm guessing that'll be something also that you will share onto your son as well. Things like meditation, daily habits, and things like that.
Absolutely.
Love that. Amazing. Thank you, Ryan. Love it. So going on to the next question. And again, it's always interesting to hear the response to this. What to you, Ryan, is so important that you would stand in front of a bus to defend it?
The idea that everybody deserve to succeed, whatever that means to them, no matter where they start in life. I like really truly my vision for the world is a world where everybody can succeed, again, whatever that means to them.
Yeah.
Their definition of success.
Yeah.
Regardless of where they start in life. I started from humble beginning, and I know how hard it can be when you start with little. I truly believe that everybody deserves to have a shot at creating their best life, no matter where they start in life.
Yeah, love that. Fantastic. So do you have this isn't one of the questions, but do you have a particular a particular message that you send out to people, that you say something that you particularly believe in then? For me, when I first got my first mentor, back in 2010, I told him about my story, things that happened to me and everything else. And obviously I got quite emotional, and even today, even when I speak at my events, I get emotional. And he said to me, and it's something I wrote in my first book, and he said to me, Paul, I want you to never forget this, and I want you to understand it, that the life that you have led until now doesn't have to be the only life you lead. And that is something that has stuck with me, like I say, since 2010, so for the last 9 years or whatever it's been, and that's something that will stick with me forever. With your personal experience and what you've learned, what you're doing and things like that, is there anything like that really sticks with you, or a message like that, kind of what you share with people?
Yeah, the eye doctor who gave us the results from my eye wasn't the surgeon who performed the surgery on me. It was another surgeon, because that eye doctor didn't have the skills to do it. So when I met that surgeon, and he looked at me and he said, your case is a particular case, and you're very young, and the only way to save your eye is to perform surgery, but it's your choice, okay? So you decide if you want to do the surgery or not. And at the time, obviously, I was 18, I was very young, so I said that, I told him, I don't know, what do you think? And he said something I will never forget. He said, if you were my son, I will perform surgery on you. And that convinced me, that gave me the courage to go under, like to do that eye surgery at such a young age. And I believe that when we treat people the way we treat our own family, man, like incredible things happen. Like people have more confidence, people like just improve, people just grow. And when I'm here talking to you and your audience, I'm talking like I would talk to a member of my family with the same openness and the same honesty, and trying to give as much value as I can, because that's what that surgeon told me, like to treat people the way you would treat a family member, to do your work with your client and your patients, anyone you deal with on a daily, in a daily basis, in whatever you do. You treat them the same way, with the same care, the same love, the same attention that you would do with your own son or daughter.
I love that. Yeah, so true. Treat them with the same respect, love, and everything else that you would with your family. Yeah, I think that's amazing.
Serve them to that standard.
Yeah.
The same standard, yeah.
Love that. What a great thing to share. So again, that leads us on to the last message. It's nearly an hour already. That's unbelievable. Yeah, that's unbelievable. So the last thing, well, not necessarily the last, but it's the last question I'd like to ask you, Ryan. What will your impact be 100 years from now?
I want people who be a model or an example for people who start with little, that they can create the life they truly want. That they can say, "Oh, he did it, and so we can do it too," and be that kind of reminder, if you want.
I love that. So, for people that are looking to get into affiliate marketing, is there anything in particular that you would recommend to them then, Ryan?
What I recommend is think about the product that you use, that you like, and go check if they have an affiliate program. Sign up. It's going to be free. And think about how you can start promoting or sharing that product to the world. I think it all starts with picking a product that you like and that you understand, and thinking about how you can start promoting that product. And whatever the method that you pick, educate yourself on that method. If you think that you can promote a product using maybe YouTube advertising, learn everything you can about YouTube advertising and stick to it until you master and get results from it.
Love that. So just to end on that note then, when you say about promoting products, would you recommend then the people looking to get into it that before they promote the product, to buy it and test it and use it? Is that something that you would recommend, or do you just think, well, I quite fancy that product, I'm going to go and promote it?
There's two ways to go about it. You can like buy the product. Like that's why I said a product that you use, because you obviously know, you will have more knowledge and more belief in the product if you actually use it.
Yeah.
You can do that, but some people, they don't necessarily buy the product they promote, but they have a knowledge of that universe. For example, someone is promoting fitness devices. It doesn't necessarily have all the fitness devices that he promotes, but maybe he's into fitness himself. So you know universe, you know that niche. And I think that's really key. You have to, especially at the beginning where you're learning, like promote products in a niche or topic where you have some kind of knowledge or interest at least.
Sure. Yeah, makes perfect sense. So at least then you can talk to your audience with passion rather than just coming across like a robot, sell.
Because I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 10 years, and if there is one doubt in your mind that the product you're trying to promote is not going to help people, or is not a good product, or maybe there's a better product in the same category, you're going to sabotage your own effort.
Yeah.
You're going to go full out. You're not going to promote that product with force and purpose. So
makes perfect sense. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. It's a great way to finish. So yeah, I can't believe that's been the hour already. That's unbelievable. As good as. So if people want to get hold of you, Ryan, so I know you're going to be in my group and you're going to be sharing stuff. We're doing more lives, but how can people get hold of you, mate, please?
They can go on my website, Ryan Hamada, Hamada, ryanhamada.com, and sign up for my email newsletter where I share business and personal success tips on a regular basis. So.
Lovely. Love that. And does that have link to social media stuff on there as well, Ryan? Or
no, I they can go on Facebook. You can find me I am on Facebook. I am on YouTube also, but I like my primary point of contact to be my email newsletter because I find it personal and more direct.
Yeah, perfect, brilliant. So again, as always, once this goes live, there will be a link to Ryan's website below this. So you'll be able to click there and get access to him. Ryan, that's amazing. I can't believe that's gone so quickly. But thank you so much for sharing your personal story, sharing the truth and honesty. I really always value that. I think it's so important. Love your journey. So I think there's going to be a lot more that we can do with each other. Again, for people inside the group, to share some of your tips, strategies, and knowledge on affiliate marketing. So thank you so much, mate. I really, really appreciate your time. And listeners, please go out and let's say listen to the podcast. If you're interested in affiliate marketing, please reach out to Ryan. Ryan, once again, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on here. To all my listeners, I really hope you've got some golden nuggets out there from the interview. And until next time, thank you so much. God bless. Love and peace to all my listeners. Speak to you all soon. Thanks again.
Thank you for listening to the Freedom Lifestyle Academy podcast show with your host, Paul Wakefield. To listen to more of our shows or to join the free Academy community, simply head over to freedomlifestyleacademy.com. Now, let me leave you with the final words of the show. Remember, the life you have led until now doesn't have to be the only life you lead.